How are ya? Guys, how are you? The other day I was on Disney Plus. I got a chance to watch part six of Star Wars, the Return of the Jedi. It's a great classic, Star Wars movie. But I didn't want to start a review on part six of a series. I wanted to start it on part seven. So I'm gonna do Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. It came out in 2015. I was a sophomore at the time. I remember I went to the theaters to go see this. I think this was right after Mickey Mouse bought Star Wars and Lucasfilm over from George Lucas, and people were kind of, I don't know how this is going to be, and some were excited, but it came out at Christmas time, and it started to trend. Every time Christmas was around the corner, you got a fucking Star Wars movie, and that's how it was for a while. It was directed by J.J. Abrams, and if you don't know, he did Super 8, and I really feel like they got him back on because he did a remake of Star Trek back in 2009. So I feel like Disney was like, he might be the guy for the job on this. A couple other things, a little personal stuff. When after this movie came out, it was great. Like, people were talking about Star Wars, they were speculating, coming up with theories, all sorts of shit. And it was nice, like to have those kind of conversations. None of it was really negative. People compared it to New Hope a lot because it follows a lot of the same story beats and all that. But yeah, I did like this movie, and the sequel movies, 7, 8, and 9, they get a lot of shit from a lot of people, especially on the internet. It's got fans divided. Fucking people hate Disney Star Wars and all that. Part 8 I don't like, but this one I really do like, and it has, like I said, it had me talking about it, had me coming up with theories, had my friends coming up with theories, and it was great. But I'm gonna dive into this real quick. All right, let me give you a little bit of the plot. It starts out on a desert planet on Jakku, which is like a knockoff Tatooine, but it's even shittier. It's 30 years. It takes place 30 years after Part 6. So everyone you know and love, Han Solo, Luke, Leia, even Chewbacca, they're all old as fucking dirt. They're probably in their 60s in the movie, even though Harrison Ford was probably like 70 when he was doing this. But yeah, the First Order shows up, which is what kicks off everything is that the First Order comes in. They're like the new Empire. You meet Kylo Ren. He looks fucking cool as shit. You're like, oh fuck, who's this guy? Looks like Darth Vader. Oh shit. He's got a cool cross guard lightsaber. It looks like a sword. It's red, staggering. It's like it acts all crazy. But yeah, this guy Poe, who's played by Oscar Isaac. You might know him from Moon Knight, Dune. He's in a shit ton of stuff right now. He obtains the map to Luke Skywalker, who's been missing for years. He hasn't talked to his sister. He hasn't talked to anyone. He's just gone. But they need him because the First Order's here and they're coming to fuck shit up. So Poe gets the map and he puts it in his little BB-8 droid. Grogu, who the fuck you looking at, dog? Like, look at the fucking camera. I don't mean to yell at you, buddy. I fucking love you, dude. Protect Grogu at all costs. Hashtag protect Grogu at all costs. But yeah, he stores it in his BB-8 unit, which is a little astromech droid, but he's like a third or half the size of R2-D2. He rolls around a little ball. He's cute and adorable. People loved him at the time. And he escapes. Well, the droid escapes. Poe gets captured by the First Order and taken up, into orbit on a Star Destroyer. So as a little BB-8 droid is, fucking hauling ass through the dunes and in the sand and shit. I fucking hate sand. No, that's not right. I hate sand. There we go. But he finds Rey, and Rey is, the main character of these three movies that are, 7, 8, and 9. And you meet her, she's a scavenger. She's She's just looking for any piece of junk off of these old star destroyers and ships just to survive. And she sells it back for little fucking portions of bread and stuff. So she's barely surviving. She meets the BB-8 droid. They form a little attachment. Whatever. And that's that. So then you go back to the ship on the Star Destroyer where Poe is, and he's not telling these guys a fucking thing. He's kind of cool. He's a fucking rebel. But you meet the rogue stormtrooper, the other main character of this movie, Finn, and he's played by John Boyega, which he was recently in a Netflix movie. They Clone Tyrone. He plays this character Fontaine. Fucking awesome movie. Go watch They Clone Tyrone. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But go check that movie out. Poe gets with Finn and they plan an escape. They're gonna go take one of the TIE fighters. They're just gonna fucking take it, haul ass, and get the fuck out of Dodge. And they do that. The problem is none of them know how to fly a TIE fighter. He expects Poe to know how to fly because he's an X-wing pilot. He's a rebel pilot. He's a badass, but he can't fly a TIE fighter. So they struggle. It's really funny, how they're escaping. It looks cool. The explosions are badass, and they end up crash landing on the same planet as where they were just at. It appears to Finn that Poe perishes and he sinks with the TIE fighter once they crash land. So Finn takes his Poe's jacket, claims it for himself. He's real sad and all that, but he walks on until eventually he meets Rey, finds BB-8, tells Rey what the fuck's going on. The First Order's coming. They're looking for that droid. They're gonna fuck you up. So immediately, they scuffle and all that, but I'm not gonna get into all that. But they find an escape, and it's the Millennium Falcon. When you see the Millennium Falcon, you're gonna chub the fuck up. You are gonna chub the fuck up, and it's awesome. When you see the Millennium Falcon, flying on the screen, it gives you chills. It makes you feel like Star Wars is back. It's fantastic. They escape, and they have classic moments, like using the little gun that Luke Skywalker did in Part 4 and all that. I got one. Great kid. Don't get too penisy. It's a little Family Guy Star Wars moment for you. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You find out that, well, no, hold on. You then meet Han Solo, which Harrison Ford's back. It's fucking awesome. And another little tidbit. The other day, when I was watching Part 6 with Yuri, she sees Han Solo, right? And she goes, "Hey, isn't that guy from the Indiana Jones movie?" Bro, hold on. I looked at her and I said, "You mean Indiana Jones?" So fucking stupid. But forgive her, right? She's new to this shit. So Harrison Ford fucking crushes it. It's cool seeing him back. He's all angry, but he's still a bastard. He bullshits everyone out of every situation. He's slimy. He's a smuggler. It's fucking cool having him back. Chewie's back too. He's great. Looks exactly the same. Hasn't aged today. But they all form this little team, But Finn's just trying to get the fuck out of there. He's not trying to really help him out. He's out for himself. And all that sets off, the movie. I'm not going to tell you more, but I'll get into spoilers later. But yeah, that's the premise of the movie. Is these guys have the map to Luke Skywalker. They're escaping. The First Order's coming for him. They also have a base of operations, which is like fucking twice as big as a Death Star, at least. They call it Star Killer Base, and I'll get more on that in a minute. But it's fucking huge, and it's pretty cool to see. And I'm going to get into feelings and thoughts right now. So this movie's great. Go check it out. But just watch them all in order. Watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even though they're all filmed out of order, even though I'm going to review them out of order, just watch them all in order. It's a good movie. Like I said, it had everyone talking about Star Wars for at least 2 years before everything got negative, because 2 years later, whatever. I am going to go into top 5 right now, just because I'm already past fucking 10 minutes already. Number 1 was meeting Kylo Ren. When you see Kylo Ren, like I said, he looks awesome. I like the lightsaber and all that. He just looks cool. You also find out he's got a bit of a temper, and I was all right with that. It was cool. Number 2 is just all the nostalgia. Harrison Ford being back as Han Solo, that gave me chills. Leia was back, Chewie's back, the Millennium Falcon's back. The Millennium Falcon's a character, if you ask me. And number 3 was seeing the Darth Vader helmet. That was awesome, because that leads into you finding out that Darth Vader is Kylo's grandpa, and there's more revelations after that. But the Darth Vader helmet was awesome, and then you hear the breathing. Great. Number 4, big spoiler here. Cover your fucking ears. Han Solo dies. Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. That motherfucker. Han Solo is my favorite character in Star Wars. Everyone, pretty much knows, except for Mando and Grogu. Cover your fucking ears, dude. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Han Solo's the fucking GOAT. So when he died in the movie, I was pissed, but it was okay. It was a badass moment. And Han Solo is also Kylo Ren's dad. Boom. His name's Ben, after old man Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So his name's Ben Solo. Great scene. Number 5. I wrote the duel at the end. That is the best moment in the movie, is when you got Kylo, Rey, and Finn, and they're, Starkiller base is already collapsing because the rebels bombed the fuck out of it, or whatever. They set off a chain reaction event. Planet's exploding. It's awesome. And there's a huge fucking lightsaber fight. It looked beautiful. It's not as flashy and as choreographed as the stuff with the young Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan and all that, but it looks fucking great. The way, they're in the snow and in the forest, and all you see is the light that's given off by the 2 lightsabers. The classic blue one, which was originally, Luke Skywalker's, and before that it was Anakin's, and now it's Rey's. And the fight's great. Even Finn gets a little action in there, which is cool. Great fight. And I'm also gonna do some plat facts, which I just threw this in here. Fun fact, plat fact: Starkiller Base is actually this planet called Ilum, which for you guys that aren't nerds out there, that's one of the planets that has the lightsaber crystal. So if you were a new Jedi and you need to make your own lightsaber, you would get your crystal from that planet. And it also appears in Jedi Fallen Order, Cal Kestis, which is played by Cameron Monogram. I forget his last name, but the planet appears there, and you get to see it being reformed into Starkiller Base. Really cool stuff. Some more plat facts is all the cameos. There's tons of cameos in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but Simon Pegg appears as one of the creatures on Jakku that's selling, the portions of bread for scrap metal and stuff. That was cool. Another thing that I didn't bring up was another part that I love in this movie that goes along with the nostalgia is the amount of puppetry. Star Wars originally had, a lot of puppetry in their movies. Like Yoda was a puppet when he first came out. Jim Henson did a lot of the work and helped out George Lucas with creating all these creatures and making them come alive. And you see that a lot in this movie. I got Daniel Craig here. 007 himself places a stormtrooper that's interrogating Rey. I kind of recognized it when I saw it in theaters. That sounds like fucking James Bond. So that was nice. And then the last cameo that I wrote was all the Jedi voices illuminating from when Rey first gets when Rey first touches the lightsaber, I guess I should say, or comes close to it. And one more plat fact: it is currently sitting at the number 5 highest grossing movie of all time. It's not a lie. I think at one point it was number 2 or number 3, but right now it's number 5. And it always changes upon re-releases of movies. Sometimes it's fucking Avengers Endgame's number 1 now, and then it's Avatar and Avatar Way of Water, Titanic. These movies always fluctuate and change because of re-releases. When they bring back a movie into theaters, or say they come up with a special edition, all that stuff counts towards sales. But once again, guys, this movie's awesome. Go check it out. I'm gonna eventually cover all the Star Wars movies. I'm gonna try to keep them within the trilogy. Like, obviously, the next Star Wars movie I'll do will be 8, then 9, but then after that, maybe I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's all I got for today. Make sure you like. Oh shit, it's my brother. He just got a new truck. It's great. Chevy Silverado Z71. That type. It's sexy as fuck. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you haven't already, follow me on TikTok. I post all sorts of clips and shit, shorts, little edits I make. Like I said, this channel is my main baby. This is what I want to grow the most. I want you guys to always comment on here. I want you guys to be interactive on the polls that I post up. Just help grow this channel with me, because we're gonna do some amazing stuff, and I'm not just blowing you off or putting smoke up your ass, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Click here if you want to see my review of Sausage Party that I did. Up here if you want to see my Ahsoka episode 3 review. Great stuff. And as always, stay platinum.